The lone wolf's territory, understanding the Sigma male's need for freedom. The Sigma male, much like the lone wolf, thrives in his own space, unbound by the expectations of others. A lone wolf walks in the wilderness, navigating the world on his own terms. He answers to no one, charting his own course through life. He is beholden to no one, free from the constraints that bind others. This is the essence of a Sigma male, a man who finds strength in solitude. Independence isn't just a preference for him, it's the air he breathes, the very essence of his existence. It is the very foundation upon which he builds his life, a cornerstone of his identity. Threaten that, and you threaten the core of his being, shaking the very ground he stands on. Sigma males are often misunderstood, their need for solitude mistaken for aloofness. Society tries to put them in a box, to label them as loners or rebels, but these labels are far too simplistic. But these labels fail to capture the depth of their character, the complexity of their inner world. They are not against society, they simply choose to exist outside of its predefined structures, carving their own unique path. Their independence is not a rejection of others, it's an affirmation of self, a declaration of their own worth. To truly understand a Sigma male, you must recognize this fundamental need for freedom, a need that is as vital as the air they breathe. It is not a phase or a rebellion, but a deeply ingrained aspect of who they are. It's woven into the fabric of their being, an unchangeable part of their identity. They are driven by an inner compass, a deep-seated need to forge their own path, regardless of where it may lead. This independent spirit is what makes them who they are, a defining trait that sets them apart. Living on their own terms, how independence shapes a Sigma male's life. For Sigma males, independence is not just a preference, it is a fundamental aspect of their identity. Independence is not just an abstract concept for Sigma males, it's a way of life. It defines their daily routines, their goals, and their overall approach to living. It permeates every aspect of their existence, from their careers to their relationships. They value their freedom and make choices that reflect this core principle. They choose paths that allow them autonomy and control. Whether it's in their professional life or personal endeavors, they seek out opportunities that let them be their own boss. They are not afraid to walk alone, to forge their own path, even if it means going against the grain. This courage to stand alone is what sets them apart. Their career choices often reflect this need for independence. They gravitate towards roles that offer them the freedom to innovate and create without being micromanaged. They are drawn to fields that offer freedom and flexibility. Freelancing, remote work, and entrepreneurial ventures are particularly appealing to them. They are natural entrepreneurs, innovators, and creators. Their independent mindset drives them to start their own businesses and bring new ideas to life. They thrive in environments where they can set their own rules and pursue their passions without restrictions. This autonomy allows them to fully express their creativity and vision. Relationships are approached with the same sense of autonomy. They seek connections that respect their need for space and individuality. A Sigma male will not be tied down by neediness or insecurity. They value partners who are equally independent and self-sufficient. He seeks a partner who respects his need for space and solitude, someone who understands that his independence is not a rejection but an integral part of who he is. This mutual respect forms the foundation of their relationships. This independent spirit also influences their hobbies and interests. They often engage in activities that allow them to explore their inner world. They're often drawn to solitary pursuits that challenge them and allow them to connect with their inner selves. These activities provide a sense of peace and fulfillment. Whether it's hiking in the wilderness, writing a book, or mastering a new skill, they find fulfillment in activities that foster self-reliance and personal growth. These pursuits are not just hobbies, but essential parts of their journey towards self-discovery. The art of silent rebellion, resisting control without confrontation. It's a subtle dance, a quiet defiance that speaks louder than words. Sigma males are not ones for overt displays of rebellion. They prefer to operate under the radar, avoiding the spotlight. They don't seek conflict or crave attention. Instead, they find strength in solitude and introspection. Their resistance to control is far more subtle. It's in the choices they make every day, the quiet decisions that define their path. They practice what can be called silent rebellion, a rebellion that doesn't need to be loud to be effective. They resist by simply not complying, by quietly living their lives on their own terms. They carve out their own space in the world. They do not engage in arguments or power struggles. They know that true strength lies in restraint. They understand that such confrontations are often futile and a waste of energy. Instead, they conserve their energy for what truly matters. Instead, they choose to disengage. They walk away from situations that do not serve their peace of mind. They avoid situations and individuals that threaten their autonomy. Their freedom is their most prized possession. They become masters of non-reaction, letting attempts at control wash over them without effect. They remain unbothered and composed. This silent rebellion can manifest in various ways. It's in the small, everyday acts of defiance. It could be a subtle shift in conversation, steering it away from conflict. A polite but firm refusal to conform, standing their ground with grace, or simply choosing not to engage in activities that feel restrictive. They prioritize their own well-being. They will not be pressured into doing something that compromises their values or their need for freedom. Their integrity is non-negotiable. Their strength lies in their quiet defiance. It's a strength that doesn't need validation from others. They understand that true power comes from within, from the ability to control their own destiny. They are the masters of their fate. They do not need to shout or fight to make their point. Their presence alone is enough. Their actions or lack thereof speak volumes. In their silence, they find their power. Drawing the line, setting boundaries to safeguard independence. For a Sigma male, setting boundaries is about self-preservation and self-care. It's about protecting their energy, time, and emotional well-being. To maintain independence, they must be clear about their limits. These boundaries are non-negotiable. They are clear about their need for space and solitude. Anyone who cannot respect these boundaries is shown the door. This firmness can be misconstrued as coldness. But it's about self-respect and self-awareness. They value their independence too much to compromise it. They are not afraid to say no, to walk away from situations that threaten their autonomy.